Hello and welcome to Trades in Viatic. And you might recognise this platform from a live build last year, and you will have seen it on a few of my layout update videos. I've never really been happy with my finish on it. As you can see, it doesn't line up and that kind of thing. So in this episode, I'm going to be sanding this down, painting the side, and then covering the top with printed paper. So if you stay tuned, I'll show you all the progress. So my first job will be to sand this. I'll be using an electric sander and making sure to wear all the protective safety equipment, because this is MDF if I'm correct, which you don't want to inhale, so I'll be wearing a mask and goggles while I'm using the sander. Then once I've done that, I'm going to give this all a coat of grey primer, and then I'm going to decide for which side have the best front, and paint the front brick colour, so that at a later date I can put some mortar in it. So I'll take you outside and do the sanding, then I'll do the painting. Now I've got a nice smooth surface which is level, and my next job now is going to be to spray paint it. I'm not too worried about how dodgy this is looking, as there's going to be paper laid on top, so it's going to be absolutely fine. Okay, you can now see it's primed. The top's now going to be left like this, and I'll leave it up for a good hour to dry. For perhaps say 20 to 40 minutes, so if I give it an hour it will be fine. And then what I'll do is come back in an hour or so and spray for the sides. For the covering of the platform, I'll be using Scale-Seen downloadable paper. So I've gone onto Google and just done a search for Scale-Seen, which bring up their website. Click on the website. Then you want to go down to the platform kit, which is this one here. Click on it. You've got all the dimensions, but doesn't really matter to mine because I'm only wanting the top surface from it. So I then click on the scale I want, which is 00. Then I click on the brickwork I like, which I think that one looked quite good. And then I just click add to basket. You can see I've been doing some shopping already. So you've got the platform and then the interior detail kit, which is for another project. Then from here you press the proceed to check out. And you put in your details here. Once I have actually processed the thing, I will then show you how to print it out. So I've now done the order. and I can download these. And then just dump them on my computer. Then what I'll do is unzip them in a moment and then show you what's happened from there. Okay, I've downloaded the files and you get quite a bit you can print off. So you've got the sides for the platform. You then got more sides. Then you've got interior support, tarmac top 1, tarmac top 2, tarmac top 3, or you can go for a paving platform. Then you have the platform edge. So looking at this, I think I'll go for station platform, this one, and the edge. And what about for would have been spray painted, I can put this on and the scenes will be pretty good. So I'm going to do a file, print, current page. I'll do myself 4 copies, change it to my correct printer, tell it to print actual size. This is a very important step, otherwise it won't be size correct. Make sure that you don't have print on both sides, and then you just tell it to print. So once that's done, I'll show you what it looked like. I will also put the platform edge on the print list. Current size, actual size, and I'll give myself 2 copies of that and tell it to print. The important thing to do is make sure to print enough copies in one go, as you'll always have variations in your printing. So if you print it all at the same time, the ink will be in the same position as it was. It won't have dried out or got any more wetter, and it should all print out quite nicely. So I'll come back to you shortly on my desk once I have them all printed out. So this is the paper printed. As you can see, really good, and they're all the same colour, texture and everything. So what I'm going to do now is to cut them out, making sure to be straight on the top and bottom. I'm going to overcut it that way so I can then cut it when it's on the platform, as any dodgy edges can be covered up with these, which I need to go along those lines and cut on the black lines. And once I've done this, I'll return back to the platform. So I've cut the sheets in half and they're now ready to glue. So what I want to do is actually mark a straight line across here for the first one. I'll just loosely place these so I can make sure everything will fit. Making sure that I have staggered edges, otherwise it looked wrong. So that's 4 sheets. So what I'm going to do is find a pencil, move this down just a tad, and then put a little mark. So that would go there nicely, that goes there, that goes there, and then that goes there nicely. So I think I'll start off with this one. So I got my mark there, I'll just go and find my right angle thing and make that mark much more pronounced. So that's my straight line, so I know to butt up to that. For this project I'll be using Rocket card glue, and for one thing I do need to grab is some kitchen roll, so I'll be back in a second. Okay, picked up kitchen roll. I got a nice piece of card to spread the glue with. Like I said, it's going to be for the Rocket card glue, because that's designed for this project. So I'll put some on. Make sure not to do what I just done there. And then I'm going to just spread it along, just to give everything a nice coverage. As in a project like this, there is never too much glue. And I can see my line there. So line this up nicely with a line, like so. Then get my ruler and just run that down. Apply the kitchen roll on top just to soak up any excess glue, and then just leave that. I'm going to carry on placing it, and then I'll come back to you once everything have dried. The glue have now dried, so what I'm going to do is get my scalpel and then just run it along the edge. At the moment this is just to clear excess, and so it doesn't have to be hard up or anything. So just go along the sides. And then I'm just going to give this a quick little, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to give it a quick little bit of trimming. This doesn't have to be too accurate as I've got for edging to put over it. But just go through, tidy it up a bit. This have actually gone a bit too far over the edge. But I'm able to just clear it off. This is actually quite nicer here. And that gives me a very nice edge. So the trick is to just find a bit that I can lift up slightly. And then just cut. So I'll leave this for a few more hours for the glue to set completely, and then I'll start putting the side bit on. But I'm very pleased with how this have turned out. So what I've done so far is I have cut the edging from the pack, and then I have narrowed it down. It's 80 score it, so we now got it running along the edge there. My next job is to glue it down, and I'm going to be using a glue which no one else will expect to use, and that's Pritt Stick. I'm going to use this as eventually this is going to get a coat of varnish to finish it, so Pritt Stick should be good enough to hold everything in place and it have a good bit of mobility in it. So all of these have been scored and set up, so I'm going to work on this one first. Just stick your glue on the back. And then just line it up. And that's all sorted. On the other side I'm going to be cheating. I'm just going to use one side because nobody will ever see the back side of this. So I'll just cut it along that line. But now I'll just carry on with this and then show you when I get to the end bits. Okay, with the end bit, I already cut off the other side, but this side is just the right length. So what I'm going to do is trim that quite a lot. So let me grab a sharp thing, and remember I'll put my scalpel. So just stick that down there, go a few centimetres above the score line. And then just cut it off. That was a bit too, not quite enough cut off. So that's now ready to go on there. If I place it again, I can see how that fit, and then just mark where about I need to cut the end. Then take it to my cutting board, find the mark, and then just cut it off. Then for the last bit is to just glue it on. The one thing to be aware of is it does like to stick on itself. So place that on there. At the end I can just use for offcuts to make the final tile. So I'll be doing the same procedure on the back, but just cutting these in half. And then I'll show you it when I'm done. Now this is complete for the time being. I don't have any other varnish, so I can't show you that done. But I got the back, which nobody will actually ever see, so you can see how I just took a shortcut. But this have came out really well. I got more projects to do to this platform before it gets installed on the layout. But this project have been really good, really enjoyable. Scale scene, which there'll be a link to in the description, were very good. And I like the paint effect I've got on this. So thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe and comment, and I'll see you all in my next video. Thank you very much. Richard.